Hola Madridistas. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast. Um, yeah, man, we have handed the title to Barcelona. Fucking gift wrapped it, and delivered. You know, with such a lethargic performance. I don't know why I wake up in the morning and watch this shit. Honestly, fucking down with this team. At least for now. Honestly, shocking performance. Yeah. On that note, which is a very bad note. Welcome back again.
Hey guys, we're live.
Yeah, welcome back again, people. Yeah, before we get into it, smash the like button and also smash the subscribe button if you haven't. Turn on the notification bell on. Yeah, I don't want to actually delve into that much, so I expect this to be a very short podcast. Honestly, I don't have the energy for it. And yeah, man, how is the panel doing? How are you, Jacob? How are you, Doris? How are you guys feeling? Honestly, just blurt it out. Don't hold back.
What do you think, man? What a waste of an afternoon and
Morning for
a
me.
Sunday. Yeah, I hoped for a nicer game. I mean, we missed Benzema, but is that all it takes really for us to have a game this bad? And I mean, we're not informed that we were in the first half of the season when we, pulled it through many games where we missed Benzema, and this just wasn't one of these games.
Honestly, if it was a different opposition, we would have somehow found a way. But against such a physically imposing team like Mallorca, who has nothing but the sole objective of being compact, making it difficult for us, giving us absolutely no space, preventing us to counter. You know how fucking clever they were, like they never left the ball to chance. If they wanted to actually finish off an action, they did. They didn't leave any loose threads for us to counter. And then, yeah, man, this is what happens. This is what happens. I predicted this last March, April. Thankfully, Benzema stayed fit, even though after you saw in the final, he wasn't fully fit. In the final, Benzema wasn't Benzema. So it was coming since then. That was when. That was the final was June, I think, early June. So it has been coming for over a year. So I don't understand how we can actually sit here and say that, oh, this was a shock or this was something that we never saw coming. This was never unprecedented. Like, if we lose Benzema, we lose our sole threat from in the front. Like, Vinicius and Rodrigo are excellent players when they can play off Benzema. They are not the kind of wingers like your Gareth Bale or your Cristiano Ronaldo who can actually impact a game so single-handedly. They're not that good yet, at least. But yeah, man, Jacob, your thoughts?
Um, I have a couple of thoughts. Like basically,
Only couple.
no, I have no words basically. Just to say how I feel about this. But then just looking at it from the perspective of a fan, uh, it's just two things. The first is that this was coming, like you said. We, we were always bound to struggle against this team. They so right now, if you look at it, counting our match, they have not lost at home in 7 home games. They're not actually conceded any goals in 7 home games as well. So it was always a difficult opposition to face against without Benzema especially, and for sure we struggled because of that. And I would tell you, like, we could have continued to watch this game. Maybe if it would have gone to like maybe played for a couple of days even, we would have still not scored because they were that good defensively, and then we had no answers. Um,
Yeah.
the second part is like what's actually depressing to me is we could play this way under Zidane and still get away with winning a Champions League. But
Yeah, yeah.
I don't see this happening with the Carlo Ancelotti. Like we can't have two team identities, especially with such short of a squad. We don't have two sets of players that we can rely on. So it's just that if we say bye bye to La Liga and then our form drops, the same is gonna happen for the UCL as well. I have little to no hope there as well. So that is the depressing part to me as a fan.
It's a good point, but you should also take into account that yes, we were having a very good run in La Liga last season, aided by Barcelona's slight demise. But if you actually rewind it back to the knockouts in the Champions League last year, we were poor for large parts. We were outplayed for large parts, looked clueless for large parts.
I mean,
So
in those games, we didn't have to actually win because we had already pretty much won the title, and then it was all up to that final few games. We were just resting our legs maybe in La Liga, so I wouldn't even count those as losses because I guess we could have won them if we had put in more effort. But like this team, it has run itself to the ground pretty much. I don't see ourselves having enough legs to
yeah, you
carry
can
us.
do that. No, yeah, that's a very good point. You can do that one season, but to go again with the same players, to motivate them again, and to actually navigate a World Cup break is just borderline insane. Like I don't know how the management and the board can actually look at this and say, well, you know what, this season is going to be a free hit. Free hit works for clubs like Valencia, man. Free hits works for clubs like Sociedad or Betis, not for us. Honestly, like I don't understand. I don't understand why when we are at the pinnacle, like we can't build up on it. You know, when we are absolutely flying at the top of our game, like why can't we add at least nothing to add something, not to actually improve at least, but to complement it and try to sustain it to some extent. Everybody knew that once we miss Benzema or miss one of our key defenders, like it's gonna be peak. And Vinicius is gonna miss the next game, right? After that silly yellow, he's gonna miss the next game. So fingers crossed for that too as well. I don't know why the club is actually pushing for Benzema to come back for the final on Sunday if we make it. Like all this makes no sense, man. This is a fucking PR stunt again. I don't know where to start, honestly. The
Um,
first half,
I maybe
yeah, go
like I
on,
think
go on.
the board's explanation is, hey, I don't think we're gonna win the Champions League or La Liga at this point, so let us at least win the Club World Cup and bring Benzema back.
Fuck, fuck off, man. Pathetic, pathetic. Honestly, these guys needs to look themselves in the mirror and ask themselves like, what are we doing? What are we doing as the biggest club in the world? Like, I don't understand. We are moving like fucking Liverpool, man. Honestly, I don't understand. We are moving like Liverpool, who I ridicule so much, who I have this fraud of having this um weird glee when they fuck up. But this is happening to us. Like I can't actually put this into words. Honestly, yeah, man. Let's get into the first half. The first half was shambolic again, again. I don't know why do we start with such less intensity, such less desire to actually, inflict some uh, early pressure into the opposition. I don't understand. They knew what they were coming up against. Mallorca were very clever. They knew what they were coming up against. They knew that if they gave us one chance, that like if they gave us one proper chance, that we're going to punish them, and they never gave us a very proper chance apart from the pen, which was 50-50 in my opinion. Like if it was another day, another referee, another VAR team, I don't think the pen stands, honestly. It was 50-50. So even that was a gift, and we couldn't even capitalize on that. I don't know why Asensio took the pen, honestly. I have no idea. I have no idea because I've seen him take some excellent penalties back in the day, but I don't know, man. I thought Rodrigo would have been perfect. Maybe this would have been, the homecoming tax for Asensio, who was coming back to Mallorca and whatnot. But honestly, everything that had to go wrong went wrong. Like, um, yeah, man, Doris, thoughts on the first half, honestly. You can just lay it out there.
Well, first of all, Ancelotti said that he chose Asensio for the penalty, and that his order is Benzema and Modric the best. Then I decide according who is playing Asensio, Rodrigo, Cruz, I guess in that order. And yeah, I find that ridiculous because Rodrigo has taken many, I guess, penalties for us, and just as you said, I guess it's because it's Mallorca that Asensio was taking it. But as soon as he did his run up, I knew he was shooting right, and the goalkeeper, like it was obvious, and yeah, like the shot was nice, but it was too obvious for the goalkeeper, and the whole game in general. I mean, in the first half, um, the goal was unfortunate to say the least. It was an own goal from Nacho, and
I'll say not unfortunate. Rudiger and Fede had like clearly 15 to 20 seconds to say, wait, this guy has too much space. We need to press higher. They
yeah,
just didn't want.
I meant unfortunate in a way it bounced, and of who it bounced, and it lobbed Lunin. But yeah, it happens, and we did nothing to uh, get the result back, which says a lot about this team because Ancelotti is sure that his 11 was right, and I mean I don't know. I'm not. I'm not sure we're the ones to judge him. We always say he knows the best, but apparently Kroos wasn't 100%, and Luka needed a rest, and this cost us. Valverde was not up to it, and when he came off in the second half, he was punching the seat. I saw tears in his eyes. Yeah, it's not funny, but yeah, like the players are frustrated with themselves, and yeah, it's
Fede was shocking as
showing.
well. Shocking,
It's
shocking. Like he
showing.
he 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 set the tone. Like I remember in the first, I think 3 or 4 minutes, he gave away our first turnover. Easy ball. He just I don't know what he was doing. Right in the middle of the pitch. So yeah, man. Key players having below par performances is what is costing us. Like honestly,
Also, we only had 8 players on the bench, and 2 of those were goalkeepers. So 6 players, and we used 4 of those for subs. Like
mm,
our bench was empty, completely empty.
Right. I mean,
The only player left on the bench that wasn't a goalkeeper was Vallejo.
yeah, and obviously Kroos and Modric. And Alaba. It's insane. It's
Mm.
insane. I don't understand like how we can go from the Galacticos to not really the Galacticos, but a very very strong A team and a B team in Zidane's uh, couple of seasons here, and then to this. I haven't seen such a bare bone squad in my life. Like honestly, in no top club is there a situation like we are facing at this moment in time. It is unprecedented, man. Like I don't know how to actually navigate this and try to actually make sense of it. Because yes, COVID happened. Yes, we are much more smarter in the market. Yes, we are no pushovers in the market. Yes, we respect other clubs in the market. But what does it cost us? It cost us basic backbone. Honestly, it cost us the ability to actually stand up to fucking Mallorca, who's rotting down in 10th position. No disrespect to them, but with the tools at our disposal, like we should be dispatching them clean in the first half. Like we should be putting the game to the bed in the first half. Like I don't understand, honestly. But before we actually move on, Tasaliba in the comments says, if this board gives a contract extension to the scrap Asensio, I'll be shocked. But again, I feel like Perez is losing his mind. Look at this shit, Scott depth. Well, Asensio had a poor game tonight, but I wouldn't put it on him, honestly. It will be harsh. Starting Tobias instead of dead Carvajal. Honestly, when Carlo is here, I don't think Tobias is going to get a shout in a game such as this away to a very physical opponent such as Mallorca. I don't. There's no chance, man. Honestly, we are just being wishful at this point. Tasalib also says Asensio scores one screamer and buys his time for the next four matches and shows nothing. Do you know what is his best position? I don't. He's not a winger nor a midfielder. Sometimes he just scores screamers. That's it. Um, yeah, I can't disagree with any of that. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell everybody that he's not a valuable squad player. Honestly, like he has a role to play, but I don't think the setup of the team and the position we are in helps him at all. Like it's not ideal for Asensio. It is absolutely not. But yeah, man, Jacob, why are we so fucking static in the first half? Why do we start like we need to conserve energy for the second half? Like, why is that the case every fucking week?
I'm not sure, like, we were just conserving our energy, but we for sure didn't put enough as much of an intensity as Mallorca. Um, I just want to like okay, start with breaking down the goal, right? So these guys, Rudiger and Valverde, they had an kind of easy way to win the ball first in the first itself, and then the Mallorca player actually passed a really bad ball back to his Mallorca player, and they could have won it that instant itself, but then they just let the ball roll. It went to the other Mallorca player, and like you said, they had an easy 10-15 seconds to get the shit right. But the thing was, Carvajal was missing on that right side. So Rudiger, I guess, I don't want to like totally blame him, but he just didn't know whether to come out or to stay back because yeah, you are a CB and then you.
Please cut some slack for Carvajal. Honestly, he is our sole outlet down the right. Asensio's tucking in, waiting for
Man,
his,
but
his
but why,
opportunity.
why is that the case? Like we know Carvajal is so slow coming out of that. Like let him just stay back. It should have been Valverde who has to be the outlet on the right, honestly, because he has been able to perform that hybrid role of being a midfielder as well as a right winger.
He
And
doesn't do that much often recently, at least post
yeah,
World Cup. I haven't seen Valverde, pushing. I mean, stretching the pitch, like in the right
yeah,
wing. I haven't seen much, honestly.
that's the
So
shit, man. Like I just don't understand that. I don't understand Valverde's performances. I don't understand the tactics or the instructions given to him. But then, like you said, to your point about not like having a good effort throughout the game, uh, Chow he did what he could. He mopped up a certain piece of the play, but it was just sideways passing and then holding on to the ball for too
passenger,
much.
in my opinion,
Yeah,
absolute passenger. Many.
exactly. And if he had seen maybe a younger midfield of Camavinga, Ceballos, and maybe Cruz to handle it all together, if Cruz was fit, I believe we would have had a better performance. But I guess Cruz wasn't fit enough for this one. And like even if we did pass through the midfield and then gave the ball to our attack, we did have a few poor giveaways there as well. Rodrigo just wasn't having it in his feet. He was giving the ball away constantly. So was Vinicius. He was having a horrible night on the left against Pablo Mafio. If I remember, like the whole game, maybe he had a couple of successful good dribbles. That's it, and the penalty winning as well, which wasn't really. It was something out of nothing, I guess. Credits to him.
Yeah, it was a God-given chance to actually get back into the game, but you know how it goes. But yeah, man, honestly, so many so many chances where we actually got to the edge of the box and didn't know what to do. Honestly, there was at one point, I don't remember if it was in the first half or the second half. Okay, someone got the ball down the left, and Vinicius is through. Yeah, like he is by the goal line, and then he looks to cut it back, and then he sees there's nobody in the box. There's nobody even at the edge of the box. like in an optimum position. So what he does, he goes back and to someone in the midfield, and the midfielder has to go back to Lunin from their goal line back to our midfield, back to Lunin.
Yeah.
Explain this shit to me, honestly. I don't understand.
I remember that passage of play, and I don't know whether to cry or laugh at that one. Uh, but it is what it is, man. Like that was a prevailing theme throughout this game. We expected Rodrigo to be the target man, at least hold the ball. He's not good at holding the ball off, but at least he can provide an outlet in the middle of the park. But he was right there up with Vinicius, trying to put a ball in. Trying to put a ball into whom? Like there was nobody there.
I don't understand. Uh, yeah, we need a focal point, man. Honestly, we need to have a focal point. Either David Ancelotti suddenly, like becomes a false nine or a striker and comes out to play CF. I don't see without Benzema us doing anything, no matter what the consequences or the stakes are. Like I don't see our team actually testing opposition defenses without Benzema, and that is a worry that has been ongoing for the past couple of years. I don't. Yes, I'm just trying to collect my emotions. Honestly, that's why I seem like I don't make sense. But this is what this team does to me. I put in so much into this, into actually supporting our club. Like I get this in return. Honestly, this that we don't have a fucking striker. Basics, basics, bro, basics.
Bro,
Mariano Diaz, at least when he came on, he actually gave the couple of defenders something to think about. Like if that was the case, I don't know why Carlo didn't start him. This is what happens, man. Honestly, people can mock Mariano, troll Mariano as much as you want, right? I have been doing that as well, right? But not to the extent some other guys would. I would say that yes, he might not be the best striker out there, but he actually gives it his all. Sometimes in a game of such fine margins and such a funny game that is fucking football, Mariano probably might make a difference. I've seen this man being pivotal in winning a double under Zidane. I will never forget that off the shoulder finish against I think Deportivo at home.
the
So
3-2-1.
yeah, so you see that having a striker is different to having someone who is a winger turned into an SS. It's completely different. Honestly, the player profiles are different, their strengths are different, their instincts are completely different. Rodrigo is not a natural striker. Please, guys, understand that. When there is Benzema, yes, he can play off Benzema. It might look nice, it might come off. But him being alone, not going to work. Well, Dean Classic says Don Perez has gone soft in his old age. Well, you could say probably. I think his eyes are being clouded by the success last season. Honestly, that is the only rational explanation that I can make of all of this. Tas Saliba says, jokes aside, that guy United loaned Weghorst, Weghorst or something. The tall guy has a very good link-up play and would have made sense for Real Madrid. Tas Saliba, I would request you to watch United games. When he comes off, they play better football. That's a fact. That's a fact. Tasaliba also says, I guess we are saving money for Mbappe, Jude, and Pamela Anderson. Pamela Anderson is past it, man. Probably in 1995 she would have been, fit enough, but unfortunately she's boshed as fuck now. But yeah, this is another worrying stat. Yeah, for the fifth time this season, Real Madrid did not have more than one shot on target from open play.
I told you, right, Sunil, like while we were watching, we were discussing, like Sunil was saying, like there's no way we were gonna score a goal. And I was just trying to say, hey, like I would be like so happy if we could see a shot on target. I just couldn't see it happening either way. But like what did work? Okay, maybe we like should we talk about the second half right now? Like because when
Go for it.
yeah, like
This is yeah.
when Modric came on, like I actually feel like he was that outlet at the edge of the box. He was trying to make it happen with a couple of link-up plays, and it did work well. He had a couple of good balls in, and but the thing was again like Mariano did try to get it to win, but then it was too little, too late. Uh, as for the first half, like we had no one to do that. Like Rodrigo was the focal point, which he's not, and then he just lost the ball because we can't expect him to do everything. And there were nobody who was running into the box making an extra run. Like we expect Valverde to do it, right? He can do it. He has the pace, he has the power, he has the height as well. But any runs he makes, he just tries to make it to the right wing, which ends up nowhere, and everyone ends up ignoring him. So there's just no point, and he just runs around like a headless chicken almost at the moment.
I think it's a clear tactical instruction, maybe to cover for Carvajal. I don't know, because if you go into the minute, finer details, you would see that Dani Carvajal is a far superior. I repeat, far superior crosser of the ball than Fede. Can we agree on that?
No,
Definitely.
I don't agree with that. Like when we have a bit of space, I feel like Fede brings that that killer low ball that anyone can get at the end of. How many times have we seen Benzema or Vini like connecting with Valverde, and even like a couple of
How many
games,
times have you seen Carvajal delivering
but not not
crosses
not
on a
not
pitch?
in the last 2 years, man. Like I haven't seen a good Carvajal cross in the
Not
last
in
two
the
years.
last 2 years.
No.
Wake up, Jacob.
Like tell me
Wake
one
up.
one instance of where Carvajal had a good
Fucking
assist.
Man City, bro.
Oh, okay.
Literally.
Okay.
Literally.
Okay. You don't count UCL. Like apart from that, UCL Carvajal is a different beast, as we all know. But
Okay, fine. I can't recall La Liga games on it.
no, man, he hasn't. I'm telling you, like he just doesn't put in those consistent crosses anymore.
I don't know. I don't know.
Mm,
Well, this is what I try to make sense of. That probably this is what Carlo is thinking. But yeah, also this Kamavinga situation. Yes, he's doing good at left back, but you told us very well earlier that when he was shifted into midfield, we saw how much more um, composure we had in the middle of the park. So, what exactly can be done? Tell me, how exactly can we move forward? Because there is no space to rest. There is no space to actually tinker with tactics. Absolutely no space, no time. Because we go to Morocco, I think day after tomorrow or tomorrow, we play there on Wednesday. If we qualify, we should play a final on Sunday, then come back and then we play Elche, which thank fuck it is Elche. I think it is Elche. I hope it is Elche that we have a chance to actually, nick a win somehow. I don't think it'll be easy. They just won 3-1 yesterday. But this is the scenario. Like in under 2 weeks, we go to Anfield as well. And there is a Clásico first leg in the Copa del Rey as well. So where is actually the breather that we can have to actually wait, recollect, um, go back to basics, and try to work out where we can actually improve, and maybe watch a couple of tapes of last season to actually inspire our team again. I don't understand. This seems so fucking misscheduled. You know, I don't know. I don't see a way back to our peak, honestly, at this point in time, at least. Maybe a very good performance against a very demoralized Liverpool might kick us up, right? I'm praying that is the case. And in the Champions League, you never know what's going to happen. Like the form goes out of the window, no matter what shape or vibe a team is coming into a game. Like you can't expect them to be easy pushovers. Like honestly, I don't think that's going to be the case. But for this team to actually find a spark again, it needs all its star men back fit and firing. And the the constant recurring theme is that we push players back onto the pitch way too quickly because we don't have an alternative. Torres, like you see that happening again, don't you? Like Benzema's gonna come back probably on Sunday, and then he's gonna be asked to start every game.
Yeah, probably he will. I mean, we have like we always say, a really tough month coming up with matches, and we're gonna need him. We just we need him, and it's selfish from us to want him back. But I don't know if we keep playing like this, we're not gonna survive against Barca, Liverpool, and whoever else we're playing next. Um, in La Liga, it's pretty much I don't know, probably over. There's still a chance if Barca screws
Very good
up.
segue. Give me 1 second, Doris. So I wanted to actually ask the panel this year: is the title race over? Doris, go first.
Well, first of all, they're playing tonight, right, against Sevilla. We'll see what happens. I mean, Barca will probably win. If they don't, that keeps us in the race. But if they do, we're 8 points behind, and yeah, that's gonna suck a lot. And uh, we need to expect from them to lose 3 matches, and no, it's just not gonna happen.
Barcelona in league play is a different animal. Let's let's get that straight. Like, I don't expect them to drop points. It'll happen. Obviously, it'll happen some way or the other. But I see our team losing way more points than Barcelona. But yeah, Doris. So you still are keeping your cards open, yeah? You still think that?
Always, always, and it depends what the board and Ancelotti and players decide.
There is absolutely no role for the board anymore. Fuck the board. They're not gonna do anything in February. No. Their
Yeah,
next
I
chance
I
is
agree
in
with
June.
that. No, I agree with that. I'm just saying, it depends. Like, if they still wanna go for it, or if they're gonna focus on the Champions League and the trophies we can win, which is also an option. But maybe they're gonna be optimistic and decide to stick to it. The like we should never like stop going for it, never. So
I wouldn't say we should. I see, like, I wouldn't advise to just throw in the towel already. But in
well,
my
no,
opinion,
there's
yeah,
a lot of people saying that already, and I'm against that. Like, we should go for it, and even if we don't win the league, like, we shouldn't behave like this, or have this narrative.
mm. Yeah, Jacob, your thoughts, man. Is the title race over? Is it Barcelona's to lose now?
Absolutely. That I believe the title race is over unless like a few miracles happen throughout the remainder of the season. So the miracles that need to be happening are like one, Barcelona need, like suddenly out of nowhere they need to perform like really poorly and then lose the ability to win matches. The second miracle is that we somehow turn it around and all of our starters stay fit forever and then they have infinite stamina.
Wow, nice, nice.
If those two miracles
Directed by Robert Weir, right?
exactly. If those two things happen, we can win the title. Apart from that, like I don't see us winning the title. And to Doris's point, right? Should we throw in the towel or just keep on going? Like I believe, let's say there's an important Champions League quarterfinal game coming up, and we play a La Liga game 3 days before that. I would say just rest all of the starters, man, for the La Liga game, and then just concentrate on the UCL game. Like
Yeah. If we come back empty-handed at the end of the season, it's gonna look so bad. It's gonna look so bad, and I fear already. I think the swords are out. Already I think the swords are out to actually get rid of all of our like major backbone players. Like your Modric's and your Cruises. Like, I honestly think unless something miraculous happens and we win either La Liga or the Champions League, all these guys are getting out. That is a fact, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want them to be leaving on a low. It should be something similar to how Casemiro left. Like, I hope and pray that's the case. But Tas Saliba says, if we lose to Liverpool, serious changes must be made. I don't see us losing to Liverpool, but you never know. Please don't say shit like that, man. Come on. I'm against firing Carlo because I think he just doesn't have the players. Absolutely. But something has to be changed if we get knocked out by Pool. We are not getting knocked out by Pool. I'll guarantee you that. We'll find a way. We'll find a way. Dean Classic says, if you could hire the next manager, who would you guys bring in? Doris.
That's a tough question to answer. I really don't know. I mean, I agree that Ancelotti just doesn't have the players to operate, you know. But from the available managers, hmm,
Yeah.
Tuchel maybe.
nah,
Tosha? No.
nah, not him. Not the kind of character for a club, in my opinion. I'm not sure. Your
Mm.
opinion?
Mine would be, I don't know, maybe give Raul a chance. You never know. 'Cause this man embodies what it means to, wear this camiseta. So um I think that is the sole option that is viable in my opinion. I don't think the club is gonna move for someone like uh, Thomas Tuchel. But Jacob, what are your thoughts?
Um, I would say like any manager that does come in, like they're not gonna have the players that they want. That's not how the board operates. The board gets what it wants, and the manager just gets said, hey, just make do with these players, just win us a UCL. That's what's been happening. That's why Zidane left. That's why Ancelotti might get sacked at the end of the season. Like the board just doesn't give the managers what they want. I feel, and anyone who comes in, like we see the system managers, like even if Klopp or Pep comes in, they're not gonna get the players they want, and they're not gonna be able to perform at Real. So like if I had to be given like any manager in the world who could come in, like I would go for Mourinho because he will do what is necessary with the players that he has to win games. Apart from that, I don't see it.
Interesting.
I wouldn't like trust any other manager with the players that we have.
Um, how long is his contract anyway?
God knows, but
Mourinho's.
like I
I
also like
not
I
to
sure.
I know he said that he's staying there until the end for the entire. I think it's 3 years. I think it's one more year after this.
but many people do say like football has moved past Mourinho's and then this football has become outdated, but I don't know, man. Like I would just like to see something different at this point.
The special one.
Yeah, Farouk is gonna throw a fit if it's fucking Mourinho who turns up in a jacket for training. Honestly, he's gonna lose it. Yeah, man, just don't say shit like that. Yeah.
Vinicius and Mourinho. That would be interesting.
Well,
Vinicius and Mourinho.
you know how Mourinho treats his attacking players. Like he gives them something extra. Um, if you go back to all his great teams, his attackers have an extra bite. Yeah, but I don't want people like Jose Backman. Honestly, I don't see that ending well. It might end up in us winning something big, but the way he leaves, yeah, like we gotta clean up all that mess ourselves. It's not an ideal situation. Ta Saliba says, Carlo, if we lose to Liverpool, big F. La Liga is 99% gone, and give the rest of the season to Raul like pre-season. That's not gonna happen. Tas bro, not gonna happen. He also says Carlo Ancelotti also said that he is staying in Everton. Couple of days later, was smiling with Perez. Yeah, he's insinuating that anything can happen from now until the end of the season. I really hope that he stays and like we go on to win something um, incredible like last year. Something at this point in time, nobody's gonna give us a chance, and I think that works in our favor. Honestly, looking at the La Liga table, last season, even when we were on the top, people weren't giving us any leeway. So us being like 8 points behind Barca, people are gonna completely write us off. So I think that is the sole caveat from all of this. Real Madrid have only won 14 points out of their last 9 La Liga games. That is 14 points out of the possible 27. It's insane. I just can't seem to understand how we can be so poor, honestly. Farooq is in the chat. He says, "Really good shout, Jacob. We need someone to put some sense into these guys." He also has Jose over the garbage we have. Ooh,
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Honestly, Saliba says Vinicius left back with Mourinho. My hair is gonna get white at a young age. Well, mine is already white, mate. And I'm not too old. Let's be honest. Farooq also says he left you a Champions League winning team and gave the bedrock for Zidane as well. Yes, and yes, but if you actually look at what happened towards the end of his cycle, it was not a happy place, and I remember the animosity within our dressing room and also against Barca. Like I don't want that to be the case again. That's my only gripe. Eben John is in the chat, fellow Malayali, I guess. I guess he's your mate, Jacob. Um, thanks for the chat, Eben, and thanks for tuning in. Walter Ortega says Real Madrid is trash. Well, that was straight to the point. He didn't take much time. Asensio useless. Valverde lost. Man, trash. Yeah. He also gets to say, "What the fuck you talking about, loser?" Is it me, Walter? I would advise you to actually, keep some decorum if you want to stay in the chat. Dean Classic says, imagine a striking partnership between Mbappe and Rashford. Um, yeah, it might be good, but Rashford, man, come on, he's a guy who thrives on purple patches. I wouldn't I wouldn't place my bets, on Rashford to be something truly, truly great. He's good at this moment in time. Not gonna lie. Walter also says, "Don't you see the trash Real Madrid team has become?" Well, we see it, mate. We have been seeing it for the past couple of years. Even through the extreme highs, there have been people like Farouk, who's in the chat, who has actually came on for a Champions League post final, looking like that, looking relieved instead of being euphoric. I repeat, looking relieved instead of being euphoric. I was euphoric. For me, winning is all that matters. But for him to sit through that 90 minutes against Liverpool, where we were, pammed, like
I
right,
was
left, and center.
pretty much the same way as him.
Yeah, I wasn't a happy
Just
man that day. I still
stress,
remember
just
how you.
stress, and there was no
I just couldn't
joy
fucking
in
believe
me.
that after winning the fucking Champions League, all of you guys were, deflated. But now it makes sense, I guess. It makes sense. It makes sense. For me, winning is all that matters. But you see the consequences if you don't have a proper identity. You can't just swap out players and imagine the team to perform to their very best potential. That is as simple as that. It doesn't matter what caliber of players you're having unless you have a proper system. It is difficult. Carlo has somewhat of a proper system, but it is not as proactive, shall I say, as intricate as a system that maybe Klopp used when he, shot Liverpool up to, winning the Champions League and the league. What Guardiola does, so, like a proper identity where even when you're playing bad, it feels like you're playing good. It doesn't happen with us, unfortunately. But yeah, man, what can we take away from this game apart from the negatives? Let's take away some positives, starting with Kamavinga. Jacob.
Yeah, like you already said, he did a good job in the left back position. He tracked back even when he was left out to dry. He always made that good recovery run and then got the tackle in. When he was
That
overwhelmed,
tackle on Pablo Mafio was
oh yeah,
insane. I remember that.
insane. Yeah, he was so much more faster than Matthew, and they just made it.
Mm.
Then when he was brought back into the midfield, he had another really good game, like some really tight touches in difficult spaces. He just sprayed the ball left and right. Had a good couple of shots as well. You couldn't see that from any other midfielder. Like they just passed it around, but he was the actual one who was able to take a couple of shots. Shame that none of them, were on target, but it is what it is.
Mm. Yeah, for me, like one of the few reasons that I actually sit through this crap as people like Kamavinga, it really makes me feel sorry for him because this is not an ideal situation to be in. A guy his age, him being thrust into left back, it's uncalled for. Honestly, it's uncalled for. When we are winning, the narrative is yes. Like if you want to cement a position, look what Fede had to go through. But when you're losing and having games like this, you feel sorry for the kid, man. Honestly, you feel sorry for the kid. Ashik says the loss today is due to an 8 a.m. kickoff time. This absolute violation of human rights to wake up for an early kickoff and then watch this ridiculous result. 100%, man. Couldn't agree more. Honestly, midday kickoffs aren't great for us. It has always been the case. Like, unless we have a clear um, hand of God, where we got a hand of God tonight. Like, we got a pen out of nothing, but yet, we couldn't actually capitalize on it. One thing I would want to also express is that Mallorca players from minute one was getting into our heads. I don't understand how our players just bend over to all these mind games, especially Rayo, I think, right? Like he was the guy who was involved with Vinicius a lot, even before the match. Even last season, he was having a go at him. And yeah, man, Vinicius, bro, the amount of times that we have said on this very panel that this guy needs to actually keep his keep his temper in check. Like don't get into battles that you don't want to be in. Like who is fucking Rayo? Like honestly, who is this guy? Yeah. Like after this match day, we're not gonna see him probably for the next until the next season starts. So these guys are minnows. This is their Champions League final. So we gotta be the guys who needs to have some sort of composure and keep our head. So yeah, man, like it is just shambolic that like once we lost people like Ramos, once Alaba's had like actually picked up an injury, like the leaders that I expected to step up aren't stepping up anymore. Like that is a stark contrast from all the great Real Madrid sides that I grew up with. Like we don't have a clear leader, especially if Benzema is also missing. You know what happens? Cruz, Modric, yes, they speak with their performances. They are not leaders, in my opinion. So
So even our
don't. Yeah.
captain today, Nacho, like he had a few hot-headed challenges today, and then he was starting trouble with the Mallorca players as well, which was not good to see.
Mm.
And Carvajal, like even though he's like a third or fourth captain, like he doesn't speak to anyone. He's not vocal enough. So just hopefully, like Alaba and
I
Cruz
don't know.
and
Last game, it was Danny who was shouting to Carvajal, Ceballos, who was shouting to Carvajal to actually track back and be alert and stuff like that. So it's peak, man. It's peak. Honestly, the fall off from Ramos, Varane, Pepe to this is just heartbreaking. Honestly, Saliba says positives. I'm calmer now, not worrying about La Liga anymore. Yes, I think that's the way to move. Now imagine Barca loses tonight. I have to start caring again. See, Saliba, that's not going to happen. If you're expecting Sevilla to do you a favor in a title race this season, I'm talking this season, Sevilla to do us a favor, it's not going to happen. Simple as not going to happen. Ashik says we got a pen and Asensio went absent again. At least Nacho scored a goal today. Yeah, I was praying that wasn't an actually an own goal because I was thinking Muriki would have had a much finer touch on the ball, but it was completely Nacho, unfortunately. Tasaliba says, I absolutely agree with Sunaid. The way we were rattled amazed me. Everyone was angrily nervous. Yes, like it was almost like this was the Champions League final. Honestly, we had so much more calmer nerves and much more composure when facing Liverpool, but fucking Mallorca wound us up. You know, fucking Mallorca wound us up. Lowly Mallorca, you know. I don't understand, man. I don't understand. People like Kangin Lee looking like fucking prime Edgar Davids. Insane stuff. Insane stuff, honestly. Yeah. Do you have anything else to add, Doris? I'm gonna come to you, man.
Not really. The game played out exactly as I expected when the game started. Like nothing changed from the beginning till the end. Um, Valverde is probably the biggest player here, or my biggest concern. Like his form means so much to us, and even last season, he was so important for us, and right now it's showing that without him we're playing Asensio that's just not doing it for us. Rodrigo, where it's not his natural uh, position. Like we're not happy with how the team looks. It's showing that they're not happy with themselves. But I'm hopeful, for at least some other trophy. And it would really suck if we don't win La Liga and lose the Copa to Barca. Like that would really
They're
suck.
gonna
And
lose. They're gonna lose those both titles to a fucking Europa League team.
yeah, and the team needs to get the shit together. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, man. Another worrying thing is that we knew coming into this game, Mallorca haven't conceded in like 6 hours or so. Also, they conceded only 6 goals at home. So we knew what we were coming up against. They're only behind Barcelona in that stat. Just 6 goals all season. So their home ground was some sort of a fortress, like honestly. And I think we took it a little too lightly. I think that was the case. I think Carlo and the boys thought, yes, we turn up and turn them over, but that wasn't the case, man. That wasn't the case. And I've recalled all the commentators in our recent games mentioning that when we actually have a game that we don't deserve to win, and we somehow find a way in the second half, that is not gonna be sustainable. That was never gonna be sustainable, and we found that out the hard way tonight. We found that out in a way we are 8 points behind Barcelona. That's madness, man. Madness. Joseph Oko says, Ala Madrid, it's hold on a second. It really hurt, but Mallorca did us a favor. Barca fans deep inside, we happy. If we beat Sevilla today, of course, I hope Real bounce back. Well,
A lot of mixed
that's
messages in that comment.
sorry. Yeah. It is kind of obviously you got to take shots. Like he's a cool, so he got to take a shot, but he knows that we are not the kind of team to actually go away for long. So yeah, man, big up yourself, and I guess I would say halfway there for Barcelona. As much as it hurts me to say it, it is your title to lose at this moment in time. Dean Classic also says Mourinho is not a bad idea at all. It's not a bad idea, man. If it was 10 years ago, that's where it is. Like he left us 10 years ago. I get it, but at this point in Mourinho's career, I don't know if he has the minerals to actually take over such a huge job. Like ours. Like that is why he chooses for opportunities that are less demanding and which probably he can thrive as an underdog, like your Tottenham or Roma. You know, managing us, I don't think it's gonna be straightforward. Not gonna be. Uh,
Zizou, Zizou.
I think that is the way our board might move. I wouldn't be against it. Zidane can do whatever he wants to do. Yes, the
Exactly.
football might get very stale. There have been days like I'll agree. Carlo's football is less frustrating to watch than Zidane's bad days, but Zidane has something about him, just like Carlo, to get something out of nothing. So I wouldn't be against it, honestly. Ashik, Ashik says we are still toothless in attack without Benzema. Facts, it's not a new thing, ain't it? Tas Saliba says, I think it's a quote by Javier, where Mafio asked me to stub him out because he wanted a standing ovation for fouling Vini Jr. When will La Liga do something to protect those crazy fouls? It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. If they protect a player of a big team, like constantly, it's not gonna go down well. So yes, referees might still keep doing this, man. This is never gonna go away. Dean Classic says, hot take for the day: Vinny will end up like Robinho. Dean Classic. Robinho was a far superior footballer at Vinicius' age. Let's get that straight. But I don't think he's going down that route. Um, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I think Mahir Asif is in the chat. I think he's a Barcelona fan. Yeah, man, big up yourself. Hope you're actually having a good Sunday. Unlike us. And Tando says Visca Catalunya. Well. Look at all the queues over here, bro. Like we haven't seen such a large number of Barcelona fans in the chat ever, right?
Yeah,
So this seems like a title win for them, rightfully so, I guess.
they need
Ashik
to
says,
celebrate the small things, right? So they only have the Europa to look
yeah,
forward to.
yeah. Honestly, it is the little things in life that matters, right? It is definitely the little things in life. Ashik says, Mourinho is not some magic doctor. Real is going through a number of injuries, a depleted side. Not sure which manager can fix that. Honestly, yeah. The lack of legs is insane, man. Is insane. Joseph Oko says, until we are 13 points clear, then I'll have peace. Real Madrid are brutal, always have a way of getting back. Brutal team. Well, I think now he is kind of jinxing the whole thing. Bro, you don't need to jinx us. We are already fucking jinxed. So you can save all of that for your team, I guess. And Tando says, hello, Madridista, vamos Barça. Yeah. Lol, old age schools. What does he mean by old age school? Huh? Hmm. Dean Classic says, if I was a mod, I will block all these Barca trolls. Get back to making money for your club on OnlyFans. Dean Classic, I think you have a fair share of experience actually doing it yourself. Probably you can give us a few tips. Ashik B says, Queues are like small dogs, all bark, no bite. Big dogs don't bark like a blithering idiot. Right, right. I think the war is going off. But yeah, man, Jacob, any final thoughts?
I don't know, like I guess we didn't address the part where we provide solutions, right? Like, is there any way we can improve this team and then salvage the season at this point?
If there was a solution in my mind, I would have brought that up.
Like,
You know
okay,
me.
consider this, like, what if like all of this is caused by like one single thing and then it's a waterfall effect throughout the team? So what if we like continue to play Nacho at right back so Valverde just doesn't have to track back at all? Like, would that fix things in this team?
Who plays centre back? Alaba and Rudiger?
Alaba, Rudiger, yeah. Militao should be back as well soon enough. So
I guess so. But come
The
on,
thing
I
is
can't
that
discount.
we have no threat on the right side in general. That would handicap us even more. But the defense would be nice for
yeah,
Valverde.
like
I
we've
And
would
got
like
say,
it could be a solution for that. It could be like, but
I would say, yeah,
okay.
I would say like starting Nacho is is not a proactive decision. Like, yes, it might make us more defensively solid down the right, but I still think Carvajal is a better outlet on the right. And
fair
like what
enough.
Doris said, we severely lack width. Carvajal provides us with the overlaps, and he's very intelligent in doing that. So Yeah.
True, man. So no way out for
What
the
is the
team.
other bit you wanted to address, Jacob?
Yeah, this was the thing. Like there was like no solutions in attack going forward for this season at least, without any of the
Mm.
players coming in. The other option is like just not playing Rodrigo in his unnatural positions, and I don't know, man.
Trust Mariano. It's the
Trust
fucking
Mariano.
Club World Cup. Give him a start, Carlo. Give him a fucking start. You know,
Exactly.
build some confidence in him. He is human. He is human. Whenever he comes on, he gives his all. Right? He might not be the striker that we want, but he just very well might be the striker we need to have some sort of cohesion going forward without Benzema.
Exactly.
Especially, especially since Vinicius is missing. I think the next La Liga game, like try something different. Play a two striker formation. It's Elche who's sitting bottom. You know, at this point, I don't understand like what is there to hold back. I think whenever we are given that little room, little leeway to experiment, go for it. You know, yeah. To
Right,
fix
man.
this mess, we need a window, hands
Indeed.
down. We need a fucking window to actually fix this. I don't think we can fix this season. We know deep down that something can be done. If it was a normal club, something can be done, like calling up a couple of brilliant young players from the academy. But people like Arribas has to wait it out. That is the sad truth. If it was a different club, I repeat, we would have had a little more options. But with this, with this club, honestly, I don't think so. Ashik says Wit wouldn't have helped much today if we were going to cross the ball. We had no aerial threat today. Yeah, I understand that, but at least we could have pulled someone out wide. I mean, like someone defending in a lower block, five at the back, with Rodrigo as our focal point doesn't make much sense. But you saw what we did. You saw what we did in the last 10 minutes. It was crossing and forward, back to Zidane. It was back to crossing and praying. And Tando says. We are making money, winning cups. Do not worry. Even with President of La Liga sabotaging Barca, we are Barca. We'll make it out. Come on, man. Honestly, I like the optimism, but Barcelona is no way gonna be back to how Barcelona was at their peak. I mean, I'll guarantee you that. It's never gonna happen. I wanted Barca backfiring. I was the only one on the panel last season and the beginning of this season who actually wanted Barca to be back and really pushing us, because if you guys are down, we are not actually being challenged. So we wanted you back more than you guys wanted your team back. But honestly, with all that's going on, I don't think Barcelona is ever getting back to their very very top levels ever again. I think you have to live with that. Maher says, "Yeah, you are going to lose the two trophies to fucking Europa League team." Yes, absolutely, man. Have some fucking shame. Have some fucking shame. Your team is rotting down and playing Europa League. And don't forget the way you actually crashed out into the Europa League, right? It was it was like a dog running out with the tail between his legs. Like it was that embarrassing. So Barcelona fans, yes, get gassed. This is your day to dance on a grave, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Ashik B says Mariano is not a human; he is a lord. I completely agree. I completely agree. Sam Ford says, "Who you guys nasty on this show? Let's go Barcelona." Hmm. Well, we are nasty if we want to be. We are not the nicest people on earth. I'll tell you that. Ashik B says, "You cools can go pull some more levers." Yeah. Doris, you are a low key Barca fan. I can see a smile. Well,
No,
he's
I'm laughing at him.
Ultimate burn, man. Ultimate burn.
Well, I guess that's pretty much it, man. We won't be having a preview for the Club World Cup, unfortunately, because we just need a break. Hopefully, we'll catch you guys for the post match. There was like 20 people in the chat. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, don't forget, turn on the notification bell on so that when we schedule a live, you guys know that right away. And yeah, man, also we are available on all audio platforms. So if you want to listen to us on the go, we are available wherever audio podcasts are, available. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, you name it. And love for the love, man. We have crossed 15K plays on audio podcasts. So yeah, it's a big milestone for us. We have been doing this for a little over a year. So big up all of you. Big up all of you in the chat as well. This hasn't been the ideal Sunday afternoon, but I guess we have to kind of take it and run. Honestly, you know, at this point in time. Also, go check out Real Madrid Committee, our partners on Instagram. They run a brilliant Real Madrid fan page. Yeah, one final comment. Ashik says, Coles are obsessed with Real Madrid. That's okay. We know who we are. We obsessed about trophies. Facts, Ashik. Facts. Hopefully, this season is a better one than what it is looking at this moment in time. That is my 2 cents. But yeah, on that note, until next time, people. Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.
La Madrid.